Ready. September 20th, 2015. Our moment in the sun. After weeks, possibly months, the days seemed to blur into one long continuation. I felt the sun. Not the scorching rays beating down on my sweltering skin, but a soft, transcending touch that teleported my consciousness into eternity. My sweet, devious, romantic delusion, whom I've said goodbye to at least 20 times now, invited me over to his house at 6 a.m. after a night of drinking. Neither of us could sleep, so I gathered my scattered shoes and purse, called a ride, and headed over. After weeks of bickering, misplaced feelings, the whole "I like you, but I can't be the person you want me to be" excuse, I was finally going to see his face, hear the comforting sound of his voice, confess every pent-up, emotionally charged word. I walked up to the door of his new house, partially delirious from my oncoming hangover and lack of sleep, and entered his humble abode to find him lying on the couch with two friends sitting on the chairs opposite to him. I hugged his two friends and couldn't even look him in the eyes as I muttered a quick hello before sitting near him. We smoked joints and partially filled blunts while listening to a random assortment of music on the television, haphazardly placed in the corner of the room. After a long 20 minutes passed, he came over to me and held my hand, briefly. A single dose of human affection and physical contact helped calm me down and resume our relaxed, playful relationship. We ended up in his room, barely discussed any of the issues in our relationship, and had sex. Great sex, as usual, but like every time I see him, nothing was resolved. The truth is, our relationship is doomed. I cannot adapt to his lifestyle, and vice versa. I've known this from the beginning, but I continually ignore our impending destruction. I now know why. After intense and sadly fast sex, I collected my things, tried to comb out my sweaty hair, and headed out to leave, hoping to never look back. But as I was leaving, he walked out with me, closing the front door as we stood on the front porch in silence. He held out his arms, to which I immediately curled into, combining our matching all-black outfits into one. I closed my eyes and felt the sun. His arms were tightly wrapped around me, holding together all the broken, misshaped pieces of my heart. All the years of sorrowful goodbyes, misplaced anger, tears cried over someone who's never shed a single tear for me, evaporated. My entire body collapsed into his, my heart rate stabilized, and my constant stream of anxiety disappeared. He is the sun. His warmth filled my entire being and destroyed the heavy weight on my chest. I stopped thinking for 1 second of my life and drifted into blissful infinity. Stroking his back, I wasn't sure who was going to let go first, because I could have stayed like that forever. After an undetermined amount of time, we parted. I left his house, and we haven't seen each other since. He invited me to a party the next night in what seemed like an afterthought. I didn't go. I couldn't see him like that, draped in girls, drugs, a flock of adoring fans and friends. When I think about his face, his voice, the many things that I love about him, I want to only remember the times we spent in elation, locked in our private, euphoric worlds. I'm ready to say goodbye before our inevitable end strikes. We shall not part with empty promises, mistakes made, bad blood staining our hands. I leave our relationship trapped in endless happiness, a continual loop of our moment in the sun. The end.